Hey guys, welcome to the second part of my Hawaiian tutorial. In this part, I'm going to be covering the first verse. Let me demonstrate the accompaniment and then I'll play it one more time, adding the melody layer on top. 5, 6, 7, and. Alright, now one more time with the melody line on top. Alright, so the left hand may look complex, but the pattern repeats itself throughout. So once you get used to one cycle, you simply just have to keep it going. Let's break it down. The three notes we cycle throughout are lower D, A, and upper D, before it goes back to lower D, and we repeat the process. Let me just demonstrate this. 5, 6, 7, and. We cycle through these notes for 2 bars before switching to a different set of 3 notes, which are lower A, then E, and upper A for 1 bar. Let's try this. 5, 6, 7, and. In our 4th bar, we take our DAD pattern an octave lower, but this time start with the upper D before proceeding to play the pattern for half the bar and then finishing the bar off with a E minim. So, trying out the bar, we have, and that's our E minim over here. Now let's try the whole thing. 5, 6, 7, and. Now let's look at the right hand. The first bar, bar number 7, is very similar to the last bar of the intro section. As a refresher, we play F, A, D for 3 beats using our 16th note count, and then switch to E, A, C on the 4th beat. So let's try that. It goes 1, E, and up. Then we play D and E and hold the following BG chord for a total of 6 beats because the notes are tied. So let's try that also. Again from the beginning. 5, 6, 7, and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. We finish the bar by playing F and G at and of beat 4. So let's try putting all of it together very slowly. 5, 6, 7, and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and One more time. 5, 6, 7, and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Awesome, guys. Let's move on to bar number 8. Let me demonstrate the bar with our 16-note count first. 5, 6, 7, and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Alright, on to bar 9. Once again, I'll demonstrate it with the count, then break it down. 5, 6, 7, and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So the first 4 notes are lower E, then A, then upper E, then D. We then have a semiquaver rest before ending the bar with D and C sharp. So one more time with the count. 5, 6, 7, and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. We hold down the last note, which is C sharp, all the way till the end because we've got a quaver tied to a minim. Finally, we complete the 4th bar by playing 2 minim chords, the first one being F sharp, A and C, F sharp, A and D, and then we just slide our finger to play G, B and D. Alright, before moving on to the remaining 4 bars of the verse, let's just try and put the first 4 bars together very slowly. 5, 6, 7, and. Okay, let's now look at the last 4 bars before the chorus starts. This next pattern that we see used in our left hand will be very prominent throughout the song. If you get a hang of this, then for most of the song, you only really need to focus on what's going on in the right hand. Alright, let's dig right in. Starting with bar number 11, we'll be starting with octave Ds, then breaking it down to play just the upper D and then the lower D. So, just like this, starting with octave D, then playing upper D and playing lower D. And we're going to repeat this pattern throughout. You can use the letters written above the chords to guide you. So for example, in bar number 12, we will be starting with octave Gs, then breaking it down and so on. Just like this. Alright, great work guys. Now let's take a look at the right hand. Applying our semiquaver count, we play the first chord, which is F-A-D for 3 beats as it's a dotted quaver. And then play the same chord again, but this time for 5 beats, as we see a semiquaver being tied to a crotchet. Then, in the second half of the bar, we play D, A, and F, descending down the keyboard. So, all in all, it will sound like this. 5, 6, 7, and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. With the exact same timing, we start bar number 12 with B, D, G for 3 beats. So that would go. And then we play E, D, E. So demonstrating this whole thing, it goes 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Moving on to bar number 13, we play a beautiful sounding chord which is D, E, A. Once again holding it down for 3 beats before pressing it down again for 5 beats. Though this time, notice how we have 2 semiquavers first instead of semiquaver, quaver, and then back to semiquaver, just like we saw in the previous 2 bars. So the notes we play are D, C, and A. So it'll be played like this. Let me just demonstrate the entire bar actually. 5, 6, 7, and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And then we play A and D together for 3 beats, and then F and A for 5 beats, and end off with a G minim. Okay, let's try and put the right hand together from bar number 11, and then I'll demonstrate both the hands together. Let's go for it. 5, 6, 7, and 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Next half goes 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, now it comes the part where I'm going to be demonstrating the last 4 bars, adding the left hand. 5, 6, 7, and. Okay, so that's how it basically sounds. Alright, we've covered quite a bit in this lesson. In my next lesson, I'll be back with the chorus accompaniment. See you guys soon.